Let's begin with the setup tasks and the Dell Boomi Atom Cloud and Environments. Dell Boomi maintains and runs 3 Atom Clouds for their customers. They are the Dell Boomi Atom Cloud, which everyone has access to run their production processes. The Dell Boomi Test Atom Cloud, which is only for an account with environments and test connectors. The European Union Atom Cloud, which may be provisioned for your account. Now we are in the process of adding additional clouds. Shortly we will have one for Ireland as well as one for New Zealand. All of your Atom Clouds live above the firewall, meaning you cannot connect to an application behind the firewall unless you open the firewall to the application. In this class, we're using the Dell Boomi Atom Cloud for our production environment. Let's take a moment to understand it. The Dell Boomi Atom Cloud is a high-scaling, high-availability integration execution environment for use by many users. Dell Boomi limits the number of simultaneous production executions an account can run on one Atom Cloud to make sure no account accidentally monopolizes the Atom Cloud or blocks other accounts access to them. To improve performance for all customers, extra limits have been placed to the Dell Boomi Test Atom Cloud and the EU Cloud. To learn more about clouds, go to our reference guide, go into Getting Started, Atoms, Molecules, and Clouds, Atom Clouds, and then our Dell Boomi Atom Clouds. Atoms are attached to an AtomSphere environment, which is a dedicated deployment setup to support different integration development lifecycle phases. Environments give you a greater control over change management and supports the different connection setups. Integrations are built, tested, and promoted between environments with a full audit trail of what was deployed and by whom. A process is attached and deployed to an environment. Environments are user-defined and unlimited. Each environment has its own runtime configuration, such as connection credentials, and the environments exist within one AtomSphere account and are not shared across accounts. Now, having a separate test environment allows you to deploy specific processes for testing scheduled executions, larger document batches, and real-time integration scenarios. Many atoms are attached to an environment, while many environments are attached to many atoms, and you can fully deploy processes from end to end, avoiding test mode restrictions without affecting production processes. Here's a chart that describes the differences between an atom and an environment. An atom is a runtime engine, where an environment is a logical grouping of your runtime configurations. Your atom owns the deployed processes, schedules, and persisted processes. The environment owns the extensions as well as the atoms. The atom affects licensing count. The environment does not. In fact, you can have as many environments as you would like. Now, on an atom, there is no classification, but on the environment, we do have a classification of both test or production. You can get deployed processes via an environment for an atom, where the processes are deployed to the actual environment when using an environment. You can run deployed scheduled processes without connection to the AtomSphere platform with an atom. However, the environment is physically part of the AtomSphere platform. Atoms are installed by a user, environments are created by a user. In atoms, you are limited by your licensing account, and we'll talk more about this as we go throughout class. An environment, they're unlimited. You can have as many as you would like. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do exercise number 1 and 2. We're going to verify our existing setup, and then we're going to create an integration administration 1 folder. Then what we're going to do is we're going to copy our process, our account XML to CSV. We're going to copy it to our new administration 1 folder. This is in your book on page 2 to 5. Beginning on page 2 in your book on exercise number 1, we're going to verify an existing user setup, and then we're going to create our Integration Administrator 1 folder. So what we want to do is we just want to make sure that you've had Boomi Essentials, and if you have it, you can download the Boomi Essentials process from the process library. It's called Account XML to CSV, the admin one. All right, so you can just download that, which is the one that if you have not used Boomi Essentials or created Boomi Essentials, that's the one you can download. The other thing we would want to do is we want to make sure that your Manage tab is set up properly. You have 2 environments. One is production, one as test, and then you have your Atom Cloud and your Test Atom Cloud. If at any point you do not have this set up, just please pause and make sure that your account is set up because we're going to be using it for the rest of our class. So what we're going to do now is we are going to create a folder, and our folder is going to be off of the Boomi Training folder. We're going to create new folder, and we're going to call this Integration Administrator 1. So we've called this Integration Administrator 1. We're going to click on the Save button, and you'll see underneath Essentials it has created the folder. So now what we want to do is we want to populate the folder. And what we're going to do is in our second activity, we're going to copy a process to the folder. So we're going to copy the process from Boomi Essentials down into this particular folder. So we're going to come over here where it says Processes, and we're going to click on the drop down, and we're going to select Copy. We're going to be in our same account, but if I wanted to, if I had a account, perhaps a sandbox account or an account that's not a training folder, but I wanted to keep a few of these processes, all I would do is I would just copy. I could come over here and select the account. If I am selecting another account, I have the option of selecting the passwords with it. If I don't select the passwords, it'll bring over the usernames, but not the passwords. I can copy the components, which I do want to do. If I decide not to copy the component, it would just copy the process. But I would like to have the connectors, the flat file profiles, the maps, and the XML profiles. So I'm going to leave this here. And then I have to have the folder already created. So what I'm going to do is now tell it where I want it to go, which is into our Integration Administrator 1 folder. And notice it comes over here and it copies everything for me. So we will let you do this, and when we're done, we're going to come back. You can come back and join us, and we'll be working on our next video, which is going to be user management.